For those of you who are interested in buying one of these books, they are available now. You can go into the shops as of February the 4th next week and be able to buy one from most good book retailers and of course from garden centres as well. It is also available on Amazon too, so I think that's great. So if you want to pre-order, you can do that. I think they've got a pre-order discount. It's $9.99 for a hardback. It's great value, and I think they're selling it for $8.19, aren't they, George? So you can pre-order at Amazon if you wish, or go in and pick one up yourself. And it contains 50 of the best houseplants, and each houseplant has its own individual superpower that can effectively support you at home. Some of them, it's aromatherapy. Others, it's the bright colour, vibrant flowers that enthuse and motivate. Other very tough varieties are really great for removing toxins in the air, trichloroethylene, benzene, formaldehyde from daily use of household products, cleaners and antiperspirants. Having enough healthy plants and a bit of air movement through the rooms goes a long way in reducing stress, tension and headaches that you can get with a build-up of toxins. And all of that is in the book, as well as some great hints and tips on how plants can help your mental and physical well-being. Look at that, engaging with children with house plants, some great sections. My kids love indoor plants. I did as a child too. Please send a message if there was a particular plant that you had when you were a kid, how mood can be changed by different colours, and some hints and tips on buying house plants. It takes you all the way through all the ingredients that you need to take care of your house plants. If you are an avid houseplant keeper, I'm sure there's quite a few things that'll open your eyes as I go through some of the details and specialities of these beautiful plants. I mean, look at this. This is the Monstera deliciosa. Isn't it gorgeous? Swiss cheese plant, we call it. It actually grows towards the dark because it's looking for a tree in the tropical rainforest to climb up to the top. And these holes in the leaves, I certainly feel that there's a lot of different conjecture on it, that the holes were actually to not deaden the blow. So when the tropical rain comes down, instead of hitting the leaf and damaging it, it goes partly through the leaves as well to assist the waterfall. There's so many fantastic things. And this little chlorophytum here is beautiful. We call it spider plant. Some people call it hen and chickens. This little strand that's coming up the top is going to have hundreds of babies. So you can take these, pot them on, grow them, give them to friends and family, and something that's growing in your home will also be growing in theirs as well. A little clone of it. The magic of indoor plants are phenomenal there. Kaz Hill, good afternoon to you, Kaz. And what have we got here? Anya Hawksford, hi, hello Anya to you as well. Now I've got Sonia here as well. It's come through twice. Thank you, James. And we have already got 75 plus viewers here. Kit McDonough as well says good afternoon to you as well, Kit. And I can just see over here, so see some of these lovely little plants just delicately at the front here. They're meat eaters. I'm going to have some of these plant varieties with me as I chat to Alan this Sunday on Carnivorous Plants. Beautiful. This one here is a little butterwort. It looks so innocent, but the leaves, if a fly lands on it, they get digested actually on the leaves, and the lovely Saracenas, the flies go down and get eaten, and the monkey's cups at the front there, and the Nepenthes, they also are great meat eaters. So if you want loads of information and a whole host of different carnivorous plants, and Alan and I really enjoy having a good chat about it. You'll hopefully, when I take them over to him to see this Sunday, you'll get a chance to catch the two of us talking about plants. But we're here taking questions. Any questions you've got on houseplants that you've got, or any questions you've got regarding at all, we're very happy to have a chat with you. Angela Higgins saying that you've ordered your book. Thank you, Angela. I hope you find it really useful. We've really enjoyed writing it here. Look, I've got a few more copies. Not had many copies before. I've been using this dog-eared copy for ages. You get an advance one when you're sent, and I opened it up and then we've used it. And as you've seen, I've used this on quite a lot of demonstrations, but they sent me a few more, and of course there'll be plenty more afterwards. That's the old Christmas present sorted, sweet as a nut. And I'm also running competitions across all my different platforms to win signed copies as well. So please check those out too. We've got to share a few while we're here. So it works really well. I've taken lots of different questions that you've been sending in. Thank you very much. Would I feed cactus during the winter? From Kathy Hurst from Facebook. Hello, Kathy. Normally, during the winter months, autumn months and winter months, you trail off the food and feeding of cacti and a lot of other plants to give them a rest period. They naturally need that because they're in an artificial environment. You've got to cheat to make them think that it's during the dormant period. And of course light helps us with that. You know, darker nights and shorter days initiate a sleep process with plants. So trail down the water, give them little and often just to get them through and not to feed. And then, of course, as we get into spring, you can start initiating feed. And part of that cycle also helps the plant grow and produce flowers as well. Now, there is one exception, of course, the Christmas cactus, Schlumbergia. If you've got some of the Christmas cactus that are flowering, it's always best to feed plants just before, during and after flowering to put energy back into the plant because it's spending so much energy in producing the fruits and the flowers. And it's the same with bulbs, you know, for those of us who are seeing daffodils growing in our gardens or just starting to poke through, the moment they flower, the foliage at the end, that's when you really want to start feeding because you're putting energy back into that bulb to revitalise it and to energise it to produce colours for the following year. Other questions that we've got here. Morning, David. Every year I buy a couple of poinsettias. I'm getting a lot of poinsettia questions at the moment. I've got a section just on poinsettias in here as well to highlight. Fantastic plant during Christmas time, synonymous with Christmas really. Who would have thought a red-leaved, well it's not a leaf, it's a modified leaf really, red-leaved plants from Mexico would be so popular at Christmas time. But of course there is that fable about the little child who took some weeds in Mexico up to the altar to pray and give thanks, and it miraculously turned into the red foliage plant we know today. I love those stories. Best thing with the poinsettias, they don't like a change in temperature. They really don't. Pauline, what I would do is keep it in a room where you've not got a radiator right underneath it to make it hot, and then when the radiator goes off it gets cool, or by the back door, front door, windows where there can be a cold draft. Steady temperature, water little and often. It's a funny thing, if you overwater poinsettias, it's very difficult to bring them back because the foliage just collapses and it's difficult. If they dry out, they don't just wilt, they start to have marginal scorch, which is very dry leaf around the edge. So the secret is to just put your finger into the top of the pot, have a good feel. You'll know whether it's wet or not, and water little and often, but it's the constant temperature. Pauline, that really makes the difference. What have we got here? I've got Francis Powell here. Good afternoon, David. Hello there, Francis. Thank you very much for sending in your messages. Lee Allerton, hello to you, Lee, as well. Kit McDonough, can I cut my Montana back or is it too late? I take it when you say Montana, you're talking about the Clematis Montana, outside one. Very different from normal Clematis. You get your standard varieties with really big, you know, sort of like side dish size flowers. And then there's the really faster, little tiny flowers of the rapid grower Montana. Montana's the white. There's Montana Rubens, which is a darker pink. There's Tetra Rose as well. They're gorgeous, but they're fast. And they flower on New Year's wood. So just you can start giving it a prune down as you generate more energy for growth. So it produces on that basis. So the bottom line is, and then with Montanas, you're forever fighting them. The best thing to do if you really want to wait a bit is wait for them to initiate growth, and then, you know, prune them out like this, where if you've got 5 stems, remove 2 for 1 year, and then next year remove the other 2, so you're balancing up the pruning on that. Loads of questions coming through. Anastasia, hi to you, Anastasia. How are you? Welcome to the show. Who else have we got here? Marianne Jones, hello. Is it too late to plant tulip bulbs? Well, it is really. You'd be lucky to get hold of them. If you've got some that you haven't planted, get them in the ground. Plant them 2.5 times in depth to the height of the bulbs. So the bulbs like that, plant them 2.5 times deeper, and just get them into ground. They'll flower a little later, but you won't be able to buy them now. Having said that, as it comes into spring and you really want tulips and you haven't planted them in the autumn, you can buy them in containers pre-grown from garden centres, and then you can plant the whole pot in there or put them in pots or containers. Love tulips, love them. I've got something about bulbs in the book as well. Certainly the amaryllis bulb works really well as a plant to put in. This is My Houseplant Changed My Life, published by DK, and it talks about the positive mental and physical well-being of keeping houseplants, including a really good section here highlighting the different superpowers, what the plant can do for you to cheer you up, as well as how to grow it and some hints and tips and facts on them as well. They're fantastic. It's a hardback book. It's available from the 4th of February in lots of garden retailers and book retailers. And of course, you can pre-order them at a discount at the moment now, £8.19p for a hardback from Amazon. What else have we got from here? Ambery Bulbs. Catherine Newman. I've ordered the book. Thank you, Catherine. I hope you enjoy it. It's full of information. We enjoyed writing it. And David Carruthers. Apple tree planted last year in clay soil and all the leaves died. So I put it back in a pot. Do I need to dig a bigger hole? It's drainage. Apples don't like it wet, David. They don't. The secret is I'd get it in the ground rather than in a pot, the apple, that's for sure. But you really want, if you've got, don't plant it into areas that get really soggy or boggy. The plants don't perform really well. If you've got a drier spot to put the apple tree in, all the better. That's the bottom line. Or try to improve the drainage where you are. There's loads of information on drainage improvement you can get online. You can probably get it from my website, daviddomoney.com as well, to improve drainage, but not a damp location really for apples. Where are we? Davy Turner. Hi from Wales. Hello to you, Davy. And how do I get a signed copy for the missus? We are going to retail the book on my website as well, and we're going to try and organise some signed copies through that. So we'll give notifications out via Facebook. I'm looking over because, you know, everybody's working from home at the moment, but we're going to set that up on my website in the very near future, next week, I think, where you should be able to get signed copies. I hope that's really helpful for you, Davey. Teresa Woodruff, why does my 8-year-old, sorry, I should be using these. It's come to the bit. Do I need glasses? Don't I need glasses? Sometimes I do. Is it the light level? Let's see what the difference it makes. Why doesn't my 8-year-old wisteria flower? Well, Teresa, that is an incredibly common question that I get from a lot of the gardeners' question and answer things I interact with either on the stage at the flower shows or via these little chats. It could be many different factors. Sometimes the wisterias need to establish themselves first. Pruning can initiate some flowering as well. So I check on my website, daviddomoney.com, on pruning wisterias. Feeding also helps as well. Putting superphosphate or something similar to that, or if you go into anything that focuses on fruit and flower, a little bit more energy into the plant would help. So feeding and pruning. Check out the website on those, should initiate it. And in some cases, you're just going to wake up one morning and the buds will be starting to set. That happens too with a lot of people that grow very established wisterias. Beautiful plants, absolutely beautiful. Right, where am I on this one? Okay. There we go. Lee Allerton laid a new lawn a couple of years ago, but moss is growing in. A lot of moss, but it has been damp. It has been damp, hasn't it? It's soggy. It's boggy. He's got poetry here. Nice one there, Lee. In places and parts, and now the soil where it's completely died off. Treat or start again. Well, if you start again, you're going to get the moss coming back, because it's drainage that's the issue. As I say, we're getting a few questions about apples and whatever about the drainage. You can put in sink plug holes at the lower part of the garden where people bore down and dig down large holes and then put in gravel and sticks and all sorts to act as a plug, so as the water comes down, it drains underneath the water table and out. Or there are specialists that come in and help you with the drainage of those as well. I quite like moss. There's something quite soft about moss underfoot, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. But the secret, even if you start again, you've got to get the drainage right. So take a look at ways of helping the drainage within your garden before you keep reinvesting, putting lawns down, Lee. I really would. Joan Muldrew, pre-order your book. Look, pre-order the book. Well done there. Thank you, Joan. Appreciate that. Looking forward to reading it and learning now. Thank you, and all the very best. Well, best to you too. You're going to get so tempted. And the good things are the garden centres are open. If you've not grown houseplants before, now is a really good time to start. And if you've got many good friends that you have with houseplants, you can also care for them as well. There's loads of different care products. Miracle-Gro are great for those, with leaf wipes and plant foods and all sorts. Feeding plants inside the home as we come out of the winter into the springtime is really essential, and it's worth making sure that you give them a bit of a pamper too. What else have we got here at the mildew? There's an on-screen poll at the moment. James has put an on-screen poll on. Do you prefer houseplants that are a challenge or are easy? So far, the poll, guess what it is, George? Easy. He's there. He's got it there. So that's 89% of you thinks easy houseplants. And there's some of them are perfect for that. Things like the aspidistra, the cheese plant, the spider plant, even the anthuriums and yuccas. Most houseplants thrive particularly well within the home. Most of them get difficulty because they're killed by kindness, where we put too much water in and we bung them on a shelf. Why do interior designers do that? Why do they put a radiator right underneath the window ledge? What's going on with that? There's something about the heat. But keeping plants away from radiators or dry heat sources as well make a big difference. But everybody prefers easy. And there's a load of step-by-step guides on what are the easy houseplants. Crassula here. I had a little Crassula. Where's that one gone, George? What, at your house? Can't leave anything around here. These are little money trees. Apparently they're fabled in many different religions to be good luck. Good luck with friendship and good luck with money. There's quite a lot of plants that have got fables to have them inside the home. They bring something in. Feng shui. There's a load of different things packed up with information. So there are a lot of plants like this are so very easy to keep. And if you're looking for a book that highlights all of those, there's 50 of my favourite plants, and that was difficult. Choosing 50 out of the hundreds that I love. It's enough to get you started. It's magic. What else have we got here? Tracy Brazer, David, when's the best time to move to roses? Now. It's now. Plants are dormant outside. Snow and frost has gone. Dig as much of the soil up as you can. I usually get a sheet of or a black bin liner that's cut open, or a sheet or something similar to that, plastic or material. Dig up your rose and put it straight onto the sheet, and then wrap the sheet up. So as you're moving the rose around, it's not like the soil's falling off and breaking more roots, and transfer them into a new position. So now is a good time for moving roses. Where's the best place to buy seeds? Not the internet, from Susie Brown. Garden centres, Susie. Many different garden centres have got seeds in. And of course, within the garden centres, you've also got people that will be able to give you some advice on buying. Some supermarkets stock seeds as well. So if you feel safer during your shop, you should be able to buy them there, and you can identify and pick them straight up. I have a seed range with Fothergills, which focuses in on the top 50 easy to grow vegetables. So if you look at Fothergills, David Domoney, there's loads there. And on my website, there's some advice on what to grow and different things. It's all the information's free, so help yourself out. But visit your garden centres to get them. Some of them do click and collect if you want to be absolutely safe, of course. Where have we got there? Anastasia, is there a way to encourage a peace lily to flower? Yeah, it's given, you know, that they're almost always in flower. I'm looking at one down there at the moment. They're almost always in flower. A little food does help. Miracle-Gro houseplant food squirted into the container usually does generate, and they don't like it too wet, peace lilies either. So brightly lit windowsill, not too wet, and give it a little bit of a feed. But I'd wait until we're starting into spring. It's not far away. You know, we're nearly at the end of January, February before we know it. That's a short month. Then I stood outside earlier on, just had my lunch, soup, and then went outside, and you can hear the birds going. There is some hope coming our way. What else we got on the questions? Loads of questions here at the minute. I've got a new poll that's just gone out there at the minute. Have house plants and gardening help you during lockdown? Yes or no? Please interact with that, which is a real good one. Has gardening helped you through lockdown? Where are we here? Nicola Gwyther sharing, hey, I am looking for an easy indoor plant that I can hang off the beam in the kitchen. Any ideas? Well, there's quite a few from that. There's a lovely little Serapiga. Do you know, There's so many pages in this. The chance of me finding the Ceropegia, well, of course, this works pretty well in hangers. The spider plant or hen and chickens, really good for that. I've got a whole section on spider plants there. You can, what else have we got? I'm just trying to have a look through as we find it. Lots of little trailers as well. Where are those little trailers gone? Marantas, they do well. The little prayer plant. Do you know, at night, it's got a little hinge and the leaves fold up as if they're in prayer. And then the sun comes out and they unfold again. So lovely. And the markings on this plant, perfect for a hanger. I've just got to flick through as you go. Some of the ferns are great in it as well, of course. Maidenhair ferns. Well, I'd probably choose more the Boston fern. I've got information about those. Oh, that's the one I'm looking for. The little Ceropegia. All its leaves look like little hearts. That'll go from if you put that in a hanging basket on your ceiling, that'll trail, I'll tell you something, right down to the bottom of the floor. They're so gorgeous that you've got. Where are we? Oh, handy. Oh, that's another gorgeous trailer. This book's packed with different things that you can... String of pearls. It actually looks like green rain all the way down the branches. There's loads of them. You can pick up this book, of course, from Amazon. They've got a discount at the moment, $8.19 instead of $9.99 for the hardback. You can pre-order. What else have we got here? I want to get raspberry bush canes, but they need to be miniature. What do you suggest? There is a bush raspberry, a very low-growing variety that you can get. We had it on Grow Your Own, where I did the show with Alan, Francis and Katie. But all the garden centres have got in raspberry canes now, so it's now a time. But there is a dwarf bush variety of it that grows. I've got 3 of them at home, just moving them, funny enough. What else have we got there? I've only got a couple more questions yet. I'm getting the nod here that we have got. I ordered a money plant from Amazon on your recommendation. It came last week. Well done. Did they sell them on Amazon? Plants. Good grief. Cyclamen are rotting due to the rain. Well, they have been a bit damp. If you've got some of the cyclamen, mine haven't looked particularly well, but they will sprite up when it comes to spring. Remove off any leaves that are damaged. Just give it a clean. Make sure that it's well sheltered, and you will get more foliage and flower from those outdoor cyclamens as they go. Catherine, I hope that's helpful. I've got loads of questions here. I've only got a few. Mandy Gibson, I've had an infestation of gnats. I think I've cured them now. I think they came from contaminated compost. You can get that now and again. What else have we got? Janet Lee. Hi, Dave. I've got so many houseplants. It's like a small jungle under my stairs. And why not? Rather than the fact of something dark in corners, they bring to life with the beauty of plants. Well, that's all the questions I've got for this time. We're going to have another Facebook Live really soon, so just keep checking up on our feeds. And you can join Alan and myself talking about carnivorous meat-eating plants at on the show Love Your Weekend this Sunday. Where are we? We're going to be carrying on with our Facebook Lives. Don't forget, of course, on the 29th to the 31st of January, it is the Great British Bird Watch. For those of you who like looking at birds in the garden, just visit rspb.org.uk, marvellous organisation, about how to track and support. Any questions not answered, I'll do my best to make sure that they come up again next week. And you can join all the information on my Facebook pages, and of course there's competitions to win some of the books too. But they're out in the stores from the 4th of February that we've got them. Thanks for everybody for joining me. I'm going to have a cup of tea now. And I just want to say, we've got it. Poll results. Has gardening helped get through the lockdown during the first and the second one? 100%. Every one of you thinks so, and you're absolutely right. I think so too. Thanks for joining me. I'm David Domoney. This has been my Facebook Live. There'll be more Facebook Lives coming up. Just follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And you can also visit my website, daviddomoney.com, for loads more free advice on indoor and outdoor gardening.